Hey, what's up?
Ready for book club?
I am obsessed.
This is the worst.
What do you mean?
What? No, idiot.
Welcome to book club. Welcome to book club.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to book club.
Welcome back.
Sorry.
I don't have my book.
That's okay. Sorry for the schedule change. If you didn't see on our Instagram, we will now be posting, for the time being anyways, I don't know forever, but we will be posting every other week.
Yes.
Because we have some other exciting things happening in the next few weeks. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. And we'll see you every other week. And hopefully eventually we can go back to every week. But this week, we're talking about Assassin's Blade.
Yeah, I don't have my book, but pretend.
If you are reading along at Throne of Glass with us, this one is the prequel to Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, and it's in the release order. It was released third, so that's why we read it third. Marlon
That's what
is
Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, Sarah J. Maas recommended to read it in the
sadist.
publishing order. Marlon is losing his mind. He is a
I've not
menace.
known peace since he moved in.
No, last week
Ow!
and this week, he has not shown any peace. Or I guess 2 weeks ago, not last week.
He is terrifying. I'm scared of him. But anyways, guys.
Assassin's Blade. So, Assassin's Blade is split up into five
almost
short-
like mini stories,
yeah,
like short stories.
So we have Assassin and the Pirate Lord, Assassin and the Healer, the Assassin and the Desert, the Assassin and the Underworld, the Assassin and the Empire. So I figured we could just go story by story. I finished this book literally yesterday. I read it in it took me forever to start reading it because I was reading other books. But I literally read it in 30 hours or something like that.
It is really, well, we know. Sarah J. Maas is just an icon and a legend.
What did you rate it?
Probably 5. I don't think I've ever rated any Sarah J. Maas book not a 5, if I'm being honest.
I think I rated it 4 stars, but it probably
No, yours was 5.
Was it?
I swear to God, I thought it was 5.
I think you're right. I think I rated it 5, but in my review, I said I was about to rate it 4 stars until the last 10 pages. Because I, in our personal book club that we have, everybody was saying that, the Assassin's Blade has been, their favorite so far. I felt way more feral reading Crown of Midnight than I did the Assassin's Blade for the majority of it. I think just because I'm not the biggest fan of prequel. I like what they do. I like the extra information, but I don't like knowing what I'm going into. The fact that I knew from Crown of Midnight and Throne of Glass that Sam, the love interest in the first book, I knew he was going to die. I had seen some fan art of it. I knew it was going to be brutal. I knew that obviously if you read Throne of Glass, you know that Selena/Aelin ends up in the salt mine, so I knew she was gonna get betrayed by somebody. I was just it felt like I was just walking straight off of a cliff, which is kind of the theme with Sarah J. Maas. You just blindly trust that woman and you walk right off the cliff, and there is no savior. You just fall. So that was why, and I didn't get that emotional reading it, whereas the other books I had lots of parts where I get really emotional reading it. Until the last 10 pages, which we will talk about when we get to that story because it shook me. But first, let's start with the Assassin and the Pirate Lord. That was, I think, the shortest one.
And the most entertaining.
I agree. I was going to say, I think it was my favorite of the 5. It had its own little plot in there that was really fast paced, and it was really easy to follow.
I really liked the vibes that it was giving. It was super fun.
And so I like that it started off the story basically Selena and Sam are sent on this mission together to orchestrate some type of business
basically
deal.
A slave trade.
It was basically a slave trade, but they don't know that till they get there.
They didn't know that.
Between Arabin, their assassin leader, basically, and the pirate lord, which I do think that, like, calling him the pirate lord is feels like a little juvenile, but I'm not like mad about it. I was just like, haha, the pirate lord, you couldn't think anything better than that. But also pretty sure she was younger than us when she was writing this.
I think you might be right. Don't think about it.
Is it Marlon?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, earthquake.
Marlon.
He's the worst.
Yeah, he's being the worst.
I don't know what to say. Love him.
But yeah, it's basically.
I don't have many. Honestly, like with the whole book, I don't have really many thoughts.
I don't have a ton of thoughts either. There's just like a couple of things in each story that I want to go through.
It felt important though, like the book as a whole.
The whole book definitely felt important. It felt very useful to have
information. Yeah.
Yeah, and I am glad that we didn't read it first. I would have been so confused if we had read it first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too.
So I don't understand how people read this before, like not how they read it not in publishing order, but whatever. But I really liked the Pirate Lord story. Basically, the whole plot is her and Sam are breaking up the slave trade, trying to free these slaves. And it's the first time when we see some like banter between Sam and Selena, and you start to get the gist that they are gonna fall in love with each other, even though they're kind of rivals in the beginning. Not really. She's like the heir to Arabin's assassins guild, and Sam is like the second. But yeah, that's what kind of we get at the end. They're like, ah, shit, we're gonna be punished real bad for fucking up this deal, but they were like, it's for the greater good, it's worth it. The next one, the assassin and the healer. This one,
I did not give one singular shit about this.
I also didn't really give one
could not bring
shit.
myself to care.
This one was also pretty short. Actually, I think I lied. This is shorter than the Pirate Lord one. This one's from page 77 to 117. It is very, very short. And that one's like, she teaches a barmaid how to defend herself.
It's a side quest.
It is she's basically, Arabin has sent her away for the summer as punishment.
Arabin whooped her fucking ass
in front of Sam. And
Sam
gets her ass
lost
whooped.
it.
He did. He lost his mind. But so whatever. That's kind of the whole point. And then she has to head off to this desert, which is another Assassin's Guild thing, another like territory of assassins. Except at theirs, it's like this big giant estate oasis in the desert. It's really hard to get there. She has a terrible time, but they're all pretty quiet. The main dude, like the head assassin dude there, doesn't talk.
He's called the Silent Assassin.
And he has a sexy hot son who has a thing for Selena. And
who also doesn't speak though, which is weird.
I think he did though. I thought at first he wasn't like never speaking.
Yeah, he wasn't like never speaking, but he was like
rarely
oddly quiet.
Yeah. But she meets, what's her face? What is her name? Ansel. And this is her first like friend that's a girl. She meets like her first little girly pop friend who is her roommate there. And this one, honestly, I cared more about, I feel like their friendship was built up more than the relationship between Sam and Selena was built up in this.
Really?
I just feel like there was more moments of like, oh, I can really see them start to becoming friends.
I did not feel that way. I knew from the jump that Ansel was going to betray her.
Well, but they still did have some type of friendship. Like that wasn't all fake.
I don't know. I didn't believe her.
Even
Ansel was a lying little bitch.
She was a lying little bitch.
I believed that Selena felt something towards Ansel.
Yeah.
But like I did not believe the friendship on Ansel's side of things at all.
I think Ansel obviously
it did not feel believable to me.
She had her own motives, but I do think the moments where she was like telling her about like personal things or whatever, like there was definitely I feel like there was definitely moments that were like at the very end when Selena asks like, was any of it real? And Ansel was like, yeah, there were some real moments. I felt like I could feel that a lot. And also too, I think just because I get really excited, I'm like, oh, female friendships, and I'm like, but I feel like this is gonna go south. And it did. She betrayed Selena, and then I got very, very sad. Honestly, there are parts at the end that were of the book that were the saddest parts for me. The actual pages of Sam's death were not as sad to me as the scene where she was shooting the arrow and chose to like waited till like 21 minutes. Sad, not for Ansel, but sad for Selena. I felt really sad for Selena at that.
I did not.
Really?
I did not. I didn't care about Ansel at all. I cared more about the little love interest that Ansel had, that she slit his throat.
Oh, God,
I was sad.
I hated that
when he died. Really hated that, and I felt bad for the son. I wish Ansel would have died. I could do without her, because what if she comes back? She's just gonna piss me clean off.
I don't think she's gonna come back.
God, I hope not. I hated that girl.
I did too, but that was what the part that I thought was sad was the inner monologue of Selena, like mourning what she thought was like her first real friendship. I thought that was really sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt really like, I don't know. I just thought it was sad. And also too, I thought it was bullshit that their little Assassin's Guild was so much more chill than Arobyn's.
Well, because Arobyn is an abuser.
The worst. The worst.
Arobyn is actually insane.
Yeah.
Arobyn Hommel and Rourke Farron have another thing coming to them.
I hope they burn to the ground. Oh,
I cannot wait for Rowan to kill.
Oh yeah. Is
Arobyn.
that what happens?
I think that's what happens.
We don't really know.
Totally
I don't know if that counts as a spoiler because we don't know what we're talking about.
We don't know what happens, but I just saw this TikTok and it was like, hey, Chris, you still work for him? And the guy goes, no. And so he like pours ice water all over his head. And it was like, Aelin was the person standing in the door. Arobyn was the boss. Do you still work for him?
Yeah,
and then
I remember
the person saying, do you still work for him was Rowan. So I saw that and I was like, oh, good. Does Rowan kill him? But I do want Selena to rock Farron's world.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that. I'm gonna need
that his name?
Revenge.
Rourke Farron?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think so.
The next one. What was the next story?
The next one is
The Assassin in the Underworld. So basically, Selena gets back.
I don't remember this one.
Selena gets back from the desert with her letter of recommendation or whatever from the silent assassin. And she's about to, and also the silent assassin gave her all of this money so that she could leave.
She could leave.
She could leave Arobyn.
Because he literally said, and he said, like, he didn't speak at all until she was leaving. And he was like, tell your master leader guy that in the south or north, or I think it's the south, wherever they are, we don't like abuse our assassins.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I said, okay,
yeah, he slayed. I don't know about you, but I was picturing him like, I don't know, because she said he was like maybe like 40 or 50. To me, he's giving Silver Fox. Whatever his energy is, it's hot dad energy.
I can totally see that.
Like I don't know. I just loved his vibes.
I also loved his vibes. But Arobyn is also supposed to be attractive, which is throwing me off. Yeah, but I think he's supposed to be attractive
in like a, I don't know.
Arobyn is also only in his 30s.
Yeah, he's much younger. I'm picturing, they said he has red hair, like long red hair. I'm picturing almost like Autumn Court from ACOTAR.
I'm going to have to look up fan art. I've seen fan art, but like, I don't know. None of it's like resonated. None of it's resonated with Sam either. Like I've seen
some that have resonated with Sam. Sam's giving to me. Sam is giving like a golden boy next door version of like Dane from Fourth Wing.
I can picture that, but like when I read, for instance, like ACOTAR, Cassian, Rhys, and Azriel are so clear in my mind. You know what I mean? Like Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine are so clear in my mind.
For me, Sam,
these characters are not yet.
For me, Selena is clear in my head.
Selena is pretty clear. Yeah.
Sam is more, not as clear as ACOTAR characters for me, but Sam is clearer to me than Chaol.
Really?
For some
Chaol's
reason,
not completely defined yet for me.
Yeah.
Only two men.
I don't give a fuck. I don't want Chaol to be defined for me.
No.
I don't like
he
that
can kick rocks.
Yeah.
I agree. The only two male characters in this book so far that are like I have a clear idea are Dorian and Rowan. And I've had Rowan.
I haven't seen anything about Rowan.
Oh, he is delicious, girl. He's got a face tattoo.
Say less. Say less.
I will be showing you when we FaceTime in 20 minutes when we're done. I will be showing you.
I'm very excited for that.
I have seen,
and I'm gonna eat it up.
Bro, and also I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm 8 chapters into Heir of Fire, which is not many pages. And they've already had their like first interaction. Like he was literally introduced and I was about to bite the pages of my book.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I fuck heavy with Rowan.
That sounds delicious and amazing. But anyways, with the
amazing. But back to Assassin's
just to get
Blade.
through the assassin in the underworld. I wonder, I don't fully grasp why it was called the assassin in the underworld. Maybe because Arobyn's the literal devil.
No, that's literally what I was thinking. Because she's doing underworld evil shit for underworld evil Hades ass Arobyn.
He is the worst. And basically,
I hate that guy.
He is like, they get there and oh my god, Arobyn just gaslights the hell out of her because this story to me, this short story really started to build on the fact of just how young Selena is supposed to be in this, where it's like, yes, she comes in with all this like anger and spite and she's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, and the second she walks into his office she just loses it because he is the most manipulative little shitbag, and I want to run him over with 17 semi trucks back to back.
Yes, real.
And so she basically like doesn't have the courage to tell him, hey, I have the money to leave and I have an apartment, I'm leaving. And also we're building some more on her and Sam's relationship. They, this is where they are like starting to like kind of admit to each other, but not quite yet. And then a moment at the end, Selena is going on this one last mission. She's like, I'll go on this one last mission for Arobyn to make some more money. Because he also convinces her that he's changed and he's like apologized for hitting her and whooping her ass. I'm so sorry, I'll never touch you again.
Yeah. And then he says, will you do like this mission? This mission that he convinces her is like he's now working to help free slaves.
I didn't believe that for 1 second. Didn't believe it for 1 second. And I think too, whenever he was like talking to her about how he would give her all the money for this, he wouldn't take a cut of it. It's like, there's no way this is like a legitimate thing. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I was getting frustrated that Selena was just believing him, but also like that's the point, is she's so young and he basically raised her. And I did think it was strange.
She's so young.
I did think it was strange that it was like Selena being unsure, maybe not strange, maybe very realistic, who knows, of not being sure of, does she love him like a brother? Does she love him like a father? Would it have turned into some type of lover situation? Freaky.
It's really weird. And like Arobyn and jumping to like the ending, but like the conversation between Arobyn and Rourke on the roof. Hey, what the like one question, what the fuck? what the fuck? Arabin is a
Yeah.
freakazoid.
He is such a freak. Don't like that dude, not one bit.
He's weird.
But she
And,
does
like,
go on this mission.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's yucky. They make her and Sam these really cool suits, and Selena doesn't have to pay for hers, but Sam has to pay for his. And I don't know. Selena and Sam are like they're basically together, but they won't admit it. And Selena goes on this mission that she has Sam helping her with, and she ends up getting trapped in the sewer. And these men are like keeping her down there, and the river is about to flood. Very similar to a powerless / reckless situation with Peyton and Kai. Where they're in the sewer, and every now and then the city will flush out the sewer with water to like clean it out, whatever. That's basically what's about to happen. So it's disgusting, nasty. I wanted to throw up the whole time.
Yeah, I hate those scenes.
I do too. She gets trapped down there, and she's like screaming. She finds like a grape. She can't get it open. She's like sticking her little fingers through it. And finally Sam has come to like look for her. He sees her. He's freaking out. She almost drowns. And that was when he comes down there or something. I don't know. Something happens at one point. They go back down there to try and get these papers to finish the mission. I don't know. A couple days later. And he admits that he's always been in love with her. And I liked that a lot. Loved it. I liked that he was so confident in his feelings. And he was like, he made Arabin promise
he also tells Selena why Arabin said, like, I'm never going to hit you again. And it's because Sam literally was like, you have to promise or else I will fucking kill you.
Yeah. He's like, if you lay a finger on her again, I'll end you. He should have ended him anyway.
I agree.
The man sucks. But finally, by the end of this story, she has told Arabin, I'm paying off my debt and Sam's. We're done with you. We're moving out. And they move out. Obviously, that's too good to be true. So then we get the assassin and the Empire.
Well, wait. Backtrack. What? Because when she kills the guy, she finishes the mission. Her and Sam go back, kill that guy. And it turns out they were safe haven homes for slaves.
No. That's the second one. Was it? Oh, no, you're right. That wasn't that one. Okay, yeah.
That was her last one for Arabin.
And he had tried to say, this is to help the slaves. It was actually the absolute opposite.
It was the absolute opposite. And the guy that she killed was fighting for the slaves rather than against.
And she did. And she noticed it. There was like she chased one guy out, and she noticed there was like a list of names basically. And then she was putting the pieces together that those names were also people who were safe havens for slaves, helping slaves. So instead of giving those papers to Arabin, she burned them. Yeah. And then she was like, yeah, I'm done with this mofo. I hate him. Yeah. And I agree. I also hate him. But that was finally it. Sucks. They were done. And the thing is, this is where I started getting frustrated with Selena, which I know she's so young and it was so complicated emotionally for her. Sam was ready to be like, let's skip town.
Leave the continent.
He wanted to get so far away from these people, from this town, from everything. And Selena was like, no.
We can't leave on bad terms.
And she was like, we can't leave on bad terms with the guild. We can't leave the city because of all the things that we have and everything we know is here. And we can't just leave Arabin. And Sam's like, no, fuck you. Yes, we can.
We literally can.
And she just kept coming up with so many excuses as to why she couldn't leave. And so finally she convinces him, all right, he's like doing some odd jobs at this like little fight club. And finally convinces him like we just need to do 1 or 2 more jobs and then we can leave and then we can go anywhere, whatever. And so Sam gets pissed, comes back and is like, I found us a job. And it is to kill the
Rourke Farron and
Jane, the like crime lord of the city, and his second hand, which is Farron. And she was like, Selena was like, are you crazy? You know how many people tried to kill them? And she's like, Farron also is a sadist. The second I saw that line, I was like, fuck, I know where this is going. Oh, that's so terrible. And whatever, they decide to do it fucking anyways, and shit obviously hits the fan. It's so bad.
And so she takes Jane, and Sam says, I'll do Farron. And Selena's
Horrible
like,
idea.
if you're not back by 12, I'm going to go look for you. And she does this like half-ass search.
That
and
made me so mad.
That made me so mad.
The fact that she fell asleep. She fell asleep and woke up at like 4 a.m.
And he still wasn't back. And she just said, he's probably at the Assassin's Guild. Baby, why would he be at the Assassin's Guild? Because what hurt me even more
to think about
is that she was sitting there thinking, oh, he's probably fine, while he's literally being tortured.
Yep. It made me sick to think about how long he was there and Selena wasn't even looking.
It made me so upset. It made me so upset.
Oh my God. She was just so naive. And then especially when like Arabin showed up to their house and he was being a freak about it too. And then obviously we find out that the whole thing was a trap. It was a trap set for Sam. And then she goes
by Arabin.
Yeah, by Arabin. She shows up to Arabin's to see the body of Sam. Horrible.
Because Arabin comes over and he's like, sorry, babe.
They thought he was still living at the guild, so
they dropped his body off.
They dropped his body off. She's like, no way. She goes there, sees his body, freaks out, obviously. And then they lock her.
Loses it.
Here's what I think was interesting, though, because obviously in Throne of Glass and Assassin's Blade, she keeps thinking back to, by the end of, or Crown of Midnight, sorry, not Assassin's Blade. By the end of Assassin's Blade, we know that she gets taken to the salt mines. So through the first two books, we're getting, I don't know who betrayed me. I don't know who betrayed me. She's thinking maybe it was Arabin, but maybe it wasn't. I think it was Arabin for sure, obviously, because the last line where Arabin says, like, I don't like to share what's mine. And she didn't like that Selena chose Sam. And why, I just don't know why she was locked in her room. So Selena goes to see Sam's body, freaks out, whatever. She goes to sleep in her room. They lock her in that room with all the, like, they take away her suit, all her weapons that they know of. And they lock her in there. But then Arabin has the conversation about what this plan, this last mission of revenge to avenge Sam is going to be right outside her bedroom so she can hear everything. What was the point in locking her door?
So she couldn't leave? So he could ensure that she heard the conversation?
Yeah, but didn't he want her to leave eventually? I mean, I guess he knew that she would get out anyway.
No, that's the point. He wanted her to hear the conversation, go before them, and he set Sam up to die. Yeah. And then he set Selena up to, because Rourke didn't torture her even a little bit, because that was the deal, I'm assuming, that Arabin made with him. But my perception of it was that he locked her in there knowing that she would escape. With being locked in there would piss her off to the point where she was like, I have to fucking go. And oh my God, it made her more enraged.
Again, this is another thing that just showed how, which is why I think this book was so important, so that it showed how young Selena was. How young
she is.
Because whenever the bodyguard, Wesley or whatever, when she was running out, and he was trying to tell her it's just a trap.
Wesley was like, stop.
And
she always listen. And the whole time, it made me so upset because the whole book, she's like, yeah, Wesley's never really liked me. Wesley's never really liked me. And Wesley didn't dislike her. He just like couldn't show that he did like her, I feel like. Yeah. And Wesley, I feel like really did like her and Sam both. And I feel like Wesley was really upset about Sam.
Even if Wesley didn't like Selena, he did like Sam and he knew who was behind it. Mm-hmm. Like he knew that I think Arabin set him up.
And he knew that he was setting up Selena as well, and he was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I
And
also feel like Wesley is probably the kind, like, I don't know, we don't know a lot about Wesley, but I feel like he probably is more, I don't know, has a working frontal lobe perhaps, and it's like, these are literally children.
Yeah, is a grown man.
Actual children. And Arabin is a grown ass man.
Yep.
So
no, I
really,
agree.
really upsetting.
Really upsetting because he was trying to warn her and she just knocks him out in her rage.
Knocks him clean out. TKO'd him.
And then obviously she gets the trap, whatever, kills Jane, the main crime lord, so that way Farron is now the crime lord, which was all part of the plan.
Goody. And then she this bitch and Gloriella, I've about had enough.
Oh my God, if she could get with it and this, like, start noticing when there's going to be poison.
Baby,
You're an assassin.
And the amount of times that it's always Gloriella.
Always. It's like the one thing it's like her freaking kryptonite.
It's her kryptonite. She never notices
I swear if she gets drugged by Gloriella one more time,
I'm going to lose it.
I'm going to lose it. But this was the part I wanted to get to was, so she gets taken to the king. She's basically lost all hope. She's like, Sam is dead. I have nothing. There's no point in fighting. And they decide not to execute her. They send her to the salt mines because it's a death camp. And I had not cried up to this point. Also too, I think a part of it was that I was trying to finish it really quickly. We had our like personal book club last night. I was unaware that we were not talking about Assassin's Blade at that meeting. That was why I was trying to finish it. I could have told you that. I didn't know that.
That's my bad, queen.
I mean, I would have tried to finish it that night anyways, but I was really hustling to finish by like 6:30. And so I think I was just like I was reading for information at that point. I knew that also too, I knew Sam was going to die. And I was like, okay, yep, I get it. He's dead. Okay, moving on.
That's wild. I was not okay. Especially, I think because the part that really got me was the soap line. Because I had seen so much about it. He smelled like the cheap soap that he used because she was too selfish to share her lavender soap.
I know. I will say I got very, very emotional at the the first time he told her when I get scared, I say that my name is Sam Cortland and I will not be afraid. And then that was like, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna say it. And that was like the first time she got that. And like they kept saying that they were gonna have forever, and I was like, well, this is gonna hurt bad. I just like couldn't. I think I just kind of like pushed on past the death stuff because I can't think about the torture scene for very long.
That's what got me. I kept thinking about it. Like I was like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't. I was having a very hard time. I was just looking towards
where I was like, I know Selena's about to snap. I'm looking for that. I want her to go crazy town. I wish she had gotten more time to really fuck some people up. I know that we're going to get it 20-fold eventually. And I can't wait for that.
Same.
But the last...
And hopefully one day, like when she finally does snap and kill Farron and Arabin, I really hope she uses her Fae magic.
Oh, I hope so too. I hope she tortures the hell out of that man.
I hope she tortures the hell out of Rourke motherfucking Farron.
But the last 10 pages basically is when she's in the like jail carriage for the 2-week drive to Indovir, and she's basically like broken, and she looks through the little cell window and sees the white stag in the woods that we learn is like a symbol from Terrasen. We didn't know that it's mentioned in Crown of Midnight, the white stag being like the last thing she saw before she was taken into the salt mines. But we get the backstory of what that means to people of Terrasen and how the king had all of those white stags executed, and there was randomly this one there. And what got me was something about the voice that I was reading it in my head, the part where Selena is like, the guards ahead are about to shoot the stag because they're supposed to. and Selena's like yelling at it to like run, like get away, and it's like just standing there. It does get away, which is good. But I just like in my head, I feel like I could just hear what that sounded like. And then the entire, like she finally starts crying, and the whole inner monologue that happens after that, where she finally decides like she says something about Sam will always be the small light that I have. Oh my God. I cried. I sobbed. That part got me. And then at the very end where she's like, I am Selena, like she's about to get out of the little carriage thing.
I am Selena Sardathian, and I will not be afraid. I looked ahead to see the last line of Air of Fire, and she is Aelin Ash River Galathinius, and she will not be afraid.
I could throw up.
Hey, Sarah.
Why?
What the fuck?
Literally, what the fuck? Oh man, it
it's
like
so
hurts
painful
my
reading
heart
these
to
books.
think about. It's so painful.
Literally,
but they're so good.
They're so good.
Oh man!
And now I understand why so many people have the "I am not afraid" or "I will not be afraid" like tattooed.
Well, we're gonna have.
But I will be afraid.
We're gonna have to get about 20 tattoos.
Bro, I know we have so many.
I know. We need Taylor Swift ones. We need Akatar ones. We're about to need Throne of Glass ones. We need One Direction ones.
Period. I need a One Direction tattoo.
No, so same.
Bad.
So same.
Bad.
Well,
but
that was Assassin's Blade.
That was Assassin's Blade.
On to
and
Air
it was
of Fire.
Very emotional.
Yeah.
And we're very excited for Air of Fire. I will say I am glad that I read Assassin's Blade, but I don't know. I kind of want another short story of the one time that she went fucking crazy in Endovier. That one day that she snapped.
Oh
I
my
kind
God,
of want that as another short story.
I agree. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like I want a short story about like those last few months.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for coming to Book Club, guys. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. We post all of our schedule updates and basically any update about anything we post on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok, subscribe on YouTube or on Spotify, and follow us on Goodreads if you want up to date, like with the time that we are reading our books. We mark it on Goodreads. We leave our initial reviews on Goodreads. So all that will be linked below. So
we'll be back in 2 weeks.
We'll be back
talking
in 2
about
weeks.
Air of Fire.
Air of Fire. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.